Hello everyone. I'm wondering if you can believe that it's now over halfway through November. I know I can't quite believe this. This year really is rushing by in some sort of a blur, and here we are, many of us beginning to think even about Christmas. And what sort of Christmas is it going to be? I'm sure you, like me, are missing seeing people, missing bumping into each other at church or just out and about. But at the same time, we've all got quite used to being in our little bubbles, haven't we? In some ways, this feels quite comfortable and safe. It does feel so strange and unsettling, doesn't it? Well, today I'd love to tell you a bit about where we are in pastoral care and seniors ministry. The fact is, I think we all are struggling a bit right now. And I can't imagine that any of us wouldn't really appreciate just a little bit of TLC and kindness at this time. After all, we are now well into our second lockdown and we're still unsure about how this is all going to pan out. Some of us are struggling financially. People have been furloughed. Some have sadly even lost their jobs. Our children and young people are growing up and being educated in the most extraordinary times. Our university students, many of whom are away from home for the first time, are having to cope with studying online with little or no chance of meeting up with friends in person, some even having to self-isolate in their rooms. Many of us are feeling isolated, lonely, anxious, and even depressed. Our collective mental well-being has really taken a massive hit right now, and many of our seniors too are feeling marooned again at home, fearful to go out, unable to have visitors. I cannot imagine that any of us don't feel that we need a bit of extra support, some hope and kindness at this time. I guess I'd love to encourage you today. You are not alone. Even if we're not all able to meet up, however you are feeling, wherever you are, God still longs to come alongside you, to assure you of his love and faithfulness, and to bring you his hope and his peace. He also longs to use us. Someone said something really helpful to me at the weekend. We were just chatting about how things are not quite as we would want them to be. And if we're honest, perhaps church is not as we would want it to be right now. Maybe, she suggested, God wants us to be part of the solution. This is one of our church values, isn't it? All involved. I'm really sure that God would love to use us as his hands, his feet, and his voice. And there are a number of things I think we can be doing at this time. The first thing is to pray. Ask the Lord how he'd like you to pray. Ask him who to pray for. Ask him what else you can be doing right now. The second thing is to pick up the phone and call that person that maybe God has placed in your mind. Make contact with them. Ask that person how they're doing. Are they coping okay? Do they need any extra support or help? Offer to pray for them. If you're in a small group, please do ring each other. Keep in touch. Encourage and support each other where you can. If you're not already in a small group and would like to join one, please do contact Richard and he can help you find a good group. We would love you to feel part of a group right now. Now, more than ever, it's so important for us to stay connected with each other. The next thing I'd like to mention is love and care. This is something we do a lot of in the pastoral care team, and we encourage our connections helpers and our guests to look out for and to care for each other. But we can all do this It doesn't matter how old or how young we are, love and care can be shown in the simplest of ways. Just remembering someone's birthday or remembering that the anniversary is coming up of losing a loved one, dropping a little posy of flowers round or a card, just to say you're thinking of the person, or perhaps baking a cake, take a meal round. These sorts of things are so important. They tell the person that they're special, valued and precious. They're in our thoughts and prayers. Or maybe it's just a text or an email. Again, if someone is struggling, a text or a message pinging on their phone telling them that they are being thought of and prayed for could make all the difference. I think at this time, more than ever, we need to try and stay connected. Please do look out for your friends and your neighbours and others that perhaps you don't know too well. This could be just the opportunity for you to take a step towards them through praying for them and also making contact. Love and care. Isn't this just what Jesus would do if he was physically here with us on earth? Our cascade of care continues. I cannot believe this, we're now into our 8th month of running this since the beginning of lockdown. So many older people are being supported by a fantastic army of volunteers. If this is something you'd like to get a little bit more involved with, or if you know of someone who perhaps needs some extra support at this time, please email us on the Careline email address or the Careline phone line. If you are approaching or are recently retired, I'd love to encourage you to join us in what we're now calling our mini walk and talks. In normal times, we could all walk together. Over the summer, we walked in bubbles of 6. Now we're walking in pairs, and this is working really well. It's really important to keep fit and well, if at all possible, and walking whilst we're talking is so good. If you're interested, our next mini walk and talk is this Thursday at 2:00, but please contact the church office for dates. They tend to be on either a Tuesday or a Thursday afternoon. The 3 Consigie Hope groups looking at our mental well-being at this time are continuing to be run over Zoom, ably led by Bob McFarland, Ali Shine and Sarah Armitage. More groups will be run in the new year, and if you're interested in joining one of these, please do get in touch with us or with Bob McFarland about this. I'm really keen to continue to raise the profile of mental health and mental well-being going forward. I am a great believer in it's okay not to be okay. Again, if you are listening to this and are struggling a bit right now and feel as if you need somebody special and lovely to come alongside you and chat maybe on the phone, or perhaps you need signposting to more specific help, please get in touch. And lastly, a quick update on the Daily Hope. It continues to be described by, thousands of older people, I think, as an absolute lifeline. We've now had well over 300,000 calls. New options of chair exercises on the phone, the reflections on remembering for the month of November, and the addition of 5 new Hymns We Love talks by Steve have all been so good. Please do pray for all the new content that will come out in December for Christmas. Steve and I have been busy working on some of this. Please can I also ask you just to continue to pray for all those thousands of older people up and down our country who are ringing the Daily Hope, that they would indeed find hope at this time and come to know how amazing God is and how much he loves them. How wonderful is this? Please also share the Daily Hope phone number with those you know locally and further afield. There are so many who've not yet heard about it. And the number again is 0800 804 8044. Thank you so much. We in the pastoral care team are praying for you so much. We all send you our love. We wish we could see you. Please know we would absolutely love to hear from you, especially if you feel like you're in need of a little bit of extra TLC at this time. As many of you know, my favourite psalm for this time is Psalm 46. Can I leave you just with a couple of words from verses 1 and 2? God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. Therefore, we will not fear. Thank you for listening.